Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank's baby August was christened yesterday alongside Zara and Mike Tyndall's son Lucas at the Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park. The baptism came just days after Jack's father George Brooksbank, 72, passed away, Mail Online reports. A royal insider told the website, George had been in hospital with COVID and had not been the same after that. He had been unwell for some time. It's been a difficult time for Jack losing his father before the christening. Another source added it had been a miracle Jack's father survived COVID last year, and that it had been wonderful that he was around to see August's arrival. Mr. Brooksbank spent a period in intensive care with coronavirus in April 2020 and was put on a ventilator for 5 weeks. Eugenie and Jack were told to prepare for the worst as he battled the virus. However, Mr. Brooksbank went on to leave hospital in June 2020. The couple put on a brave face yesterday as they were seen arriving for the rare royal double christening. The family occasion went ahead despite the tragedy of Mr. Brooksbank's death. August was baptized alongside the Tyndalls' tot Lucas in front of guests including the Queen. The monarch's attendance came after she has been forced to cancel a series of engagements due to her health. Eugenie and Jack were pictured arriving at the christening at around 4 p.m. on Sunday. Her Majesty was photographed leaving in the backseat of a black Range Rover just before 5 p.m. Other royals reportedly attending were Prince Andrew, Prince William, and Kate. Prince Harry's ex-girlfriend Cressida Bonus, a close friend of Eugenie's, also made an appearance. Eugenie and Jack, who tied the knot in 2018, welcomed their first child in February. Meanwhile, Zara and Mike's third child arrived a month later in March. Express.co.uk has contacted Buckingham Palace for comment. Royal family faces a minor crisis after several senior royals who could aid the Queen with her duties are unable to lend a hand. Talk Radio's royal correspondent Rupert Bell suggested conversations about making life easier for the Queen have hit a huge snag after Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, who would usually be perfect to help out, became unavailable. It comes as the Queen was forced to cancel a trip to Northern Ireland on health advice and had to spend the night in hospital. Speaking on Talk Radio, Mr. Bell discussed the Queen's health and future with Rob Rinder. Her Majesty, 95, was due to visit Northern Ireland to attend the centenary service, but was advised not to travel. The monarch returned to Windsor on Thursday with Mr. Johnson informing the press he was told she was back at her desk working. Mr. Bell and Mr. Rinder discussed the story with Mr. Rinder, asking, "Of course, we have Charles and I wonder whether he is going to be taking on new duties. And really, as our Queen gets increasingly to that magical age of 100, do you think she's likely to be able to fulfill that full buffet of roles that she's been fulfilling until now?" Mr. Bell responded, "Probably not, but one of the problems the royal family have, they are a couple down if you see what I mean, people they would have expected to try and help out. Whether it be their grandmother or their mother, but unfortunately one's gone to America and one's got other things on his mind. And that is causing the royal family a degree of problem because they do realize they want the Queen to step back a little bit because at 95 you would expect it to be. But the Queen is also very reluctant in her case to step back because if she feels she can do it she wants to get back out there." Mr. Bell added Prince Charles was likely aware of the situation and what he now needs to do with the rest of the royal family involves thinking of ways to ease the constitutional burden. On Wednesday, it was announced that the head of state's trip to Northern Ireland was cancelled after doctors' orders to rest. But the palace has come under fire from some royal commentators after it emerged the Queen went to the hospital as she was understood to be resting at her Berkshire residence. The Daily Express's royal correspondent Richard Palmer tweeted, "The Queen TMS night in hospital when the palace said she was at Windsor is our splash in later editions today." Royal sources had been keen to encourage the impression that she had just overdone it but may struggle to convince the public now. "In good spirits" is a palace cliché. Journalists including the BBC TM's Nick Witchell have pointed out that rumour and misinformation will thrive if the palace cannot be relied upon for trustworthy information. In December 2020, the Duchess of Sussex announced that she had invested in an instant oat milk latte company called Clever Blends. Now US celebrity Oprah Winfrey has included the coffee by Clever Blends in her list of favorite things from 2021. The Clever Blends Super Latte Starter Kit was included in the food section of Oprah's gift guide. Oprah's gift guide presented the coffee brand with a discount code and a link to the brand's website. The Duchess of Sussex promoted Clever Blends in an Instagram post in December 2020 where she called it her new drink of choice. Oprah gave her endorsement of the coffee brand, which she called a woman-led company. In her list of favorite things from 2021, Oprah said, "My neighbor Meghan, yes, that one, introduced me to this woman-led wellness brand. Not a day goes by without me sipping on the golden latte from this kit. It also comes with chai latte mix and a little frother. You can add the mixes to smoothies for a flavor boost, too." The television host then described how she was introduced to the brand by her neighbor Meghan. Then Oprah added how the Duchess of Sussex invested an unspecified amount in the company last year. Meghan then sent Oprah a gift basket filled with the company's superfood brands. Oprah then shared the information about the coffee product on her own Instagram account. Oprah's account has more than 19 million subscribers. The one Instagram post has been estimated to be worth a staggering $1 million in free publicity. Oprah's post came with the following text: "On the first day of Christmas, my neighbor M sent to me a basket of deliciousness. Yes, that M. My new drink of choice for the morning and night. Wish I had at Clever Blends sooner because I would have added it to my favorite things list. Happy holidays." The news comes after the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived at the COP26 Climate Change Summit in Glasgow on Monday evening. Kate and Prince William were in Glasgow to host a reception for key members of the Sustainable Markets Initiative, and the winners and finalists of the first Earthshot Prize Awards in Glasgow. The Earthshot Prize is Prince William's $50 million climate change initiative. BBC News' Mark Dolan blasted Prince Harry's hot air after the Duke of Sussex took his millionaire friend's private jet home, just months after lecturing the world about climate change. In a blistering on-air takedown, Mr. Dolan told viewers, "It is almost like this couple say one thing and do another." Harry took a 2-hour private jet flight from Aspen, Colorado, to his home in Santa Barbara, California this week, according to the Mail. It is thought the flight could have emitted as much as 10 tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. Mr. Dolan said, "I thought the Hollywood wing of the royal family were really worried about global warming. But Harry has landed in Santa Barbara after taking his millionaire friend's private jet home just months after lecturing us all about climate change." The campaigning royal boarded the 20-seater, $45 million plane from a polo match in Aspen, Colorado to his home in Santa Barbara, California. He joked, "I suspect the horse he was on emits as much hot air as he does." The jet is understood to belong to one of Harry's polo friends, Mark Gansey. He had been in Aspen to take part in a charity polo match. It was his first public appearance since his daughter Lilibet Diana was born on June 4. The backlash and ridicule to the trip was widespread, with royal author Tom Quinn telling The Sun, "Harry seems to see himself as someone who guides the rest of the world and that his own behavior isn't TMT relevant. It is a huge blind spot." Fellow GB News host, Dan Wootton tweeted, "You couldn't TMT make it up." Fake eco-warrior Prince Harry takes yet another private jet flight, this time to go to a posh polo match. Just remember, this is a bloke hectoring us all about air travel. Given his actions, he should be roundly ignored. Diana Abbott blasts UK's plans to welcome Afghans fleeing Taliban, video BBC poll, should licence fee be scrapped. Vote, POLL Brexit Live, meddling Barnier weighs in on fishing row, Live blog, Harry has previously railed against climate change, telling Oprah Winfrey on Apple TV earlier this year that it is one of the most pressing issues we are facing. He said, "With kids growing up in today's world, pretty depressing, right? Depending on where you live, your home country is either on fire, it's either underwater, houses or forests are being flattened." It comes as Harry's father Prince Charles made yet another powerful intervention about climate change catastrophe. Charles once again urged business chiefs to join world leaders in the battle to avert climate catastrophe.